Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm JSimLady and today we're doing a fun Sims 4 speed build. I am so excited to share Penny's updated apartment with you, but before we get into that, a couple of things first. I was in fact able to change my username on the Sims 4 gallery, and finally there is no underscore. You can just type in JSimLady and you should be able to easily find me on the gallery now. And secondly, I do have a creator code. If you just pop that into the promo code when you're buying Sims 4 packs, it helps my channel out a lot. And again, that is just JSimLady. So this is a pizzazzy new apartment for Penny Pizzazz. The old apartment that she had, I don't know if you remember what it looked like, but it had personality. It did. It just did not have a very nice layout. It was pretty outdated. It needed some work. It needed a lot of work, and I wanted to add some of the newer, bolder, funner things to it and just give her some updated furniture and stuff. And that's what I did. I started with yellow in the kitchen dining space because I wanted the Sims to walk into this apartment and just bam, right off the bat be hit with all that vibrant, colorful personality that Penny has. I chose yellow specifically because to me it's a very pizzazzy kind of color. For me, green and pink go best with yellow and also with each other. So that's what I did. The main colors throughout the entire apartment are yellow, green, and kind of that deep pinky color. I don't know what you call that. The only one that was hard to keep consistent throughout the apartment was that pink color. It's like such a red but not, but also kind of orange but not, and like a deep rose but still pink. I don't know. I don't know what to even call it, but it was really hard to match throughout the apartment. In the end, it turns out really cute, and most of them are so similar that you can't tell that they're not exact. But the weird thing was that first table that I was putting there with the pink tiles on it, on my screen at the time of building this, that tile table looked like the same pink color as the chair and dining tables do, which was really weird. I don't know if there was some kind of color thing going on with my computer or what, but the only reason why I changed the tile table out for the other table was because it didn't match the vibe and it was a little bit too busy against the wallpaper. Not because it was the wrong pink, because on my screen it looked like the same pink until I started watching the video back, and then you could clearly see that that was not the same pink. I often wonder if maybe perhaps the reason why I have such a discrepancy between what I see in the game when I'm building versus what I see in the videos when I'm watching the playback to do voiceovers and stuff is because I have a night mode set up on my computer, and I'm often building at night. And what night mode does is it kind of tones down the blue light in your screen and kind of gives it an orangey yellow sort of look. So I wonder if that's where the discrepancy in colors is coming from, because I run into that a lot. But I often build at night and then edit videos in the morning. And I didn't think about that until recently, so maybe that's it. I don't know. So while the pinks in the kitchen dining space had a slightly rosier, maybe even borderline undertone of purple under them. The ones in the living room actually have more of a slightly orangey undertone to them. But I set it up in a way with the green versus the yellow and everything so that you can hardly notice. Like, really hardly notice. I think they look so similar that it works really well. And I struggled with the layout of this living room because I wanted Penny to have a bar area, but there really wasn't a good place to put it. I wanted her to not like be a huge entertainer of friends and stuff. More like just a few close friends would come over to her apartment every now and then for drinks and stuff, but I still wanted her to have a bar for that purpose. And yeah, in the end, obviously, it just didn't work out the way I wanted. I ended up putting a bookshelf there instead, and I put the fancy drink tray from that pool kit that we got at some point that I don't remember now. Maybe it was last summer. Was it last summer already? Wow. On the counter in the kitchen so she could serve drinks from the kitchen. It just made more sense. It felt better and it didn't make the living room feel so heavy and over full. I kind of wish that we had like a sideboard, side table, that table in the kitchen, that sideboard table. I wish we had something that was that size that did not take up a full tile and you could serve drinks from that. Not like a full bar that takes up the whole table. Something thinner, something skinnier, something that would fit into a tighter space like that. Not just a one tile bar, because I did try a couple of one tile bars and they were really awkward looking. It definitely in a space like that would look better with a two tile bar, but something thinner that doesn't take up the full depth of the space, if you will, the full tile, if you will. So I ended up just going with a bookshelf. She does have the tray in the kitchen that she can serve drinks from, though. And there is a second tiny bedroom in her apartment now, which was not there before. It was kind of almost a studio apartment in a way before, and now I have it broken up into a few different rooms. I figure she's probably really into fashion. She looks like a fashion girly, and she feels like a fashion girly to me, so I figure she's in something to do with fashion. I don't know, to be honest with you, what her current set career is when you first start up the game. I have never actually played with Penny. Most of my Sims have made friends with her at some point or another, but I've never actually played with her, so I can't remember what her career is. But when I go in to change it for the save file, it's definitely going to have something to do with fashion, if it's not already set to that. Let me know down in the comments if you can remember what her career is right out of right at the beginning of a new save, because I think sometimes they change careers with the whole addition of the neighborhood stories and all that kind of stuff, story progression. It's weird and it works really weirdly, and they sometimes change jobs randomly. So sometimes I do think she changes jobs to weird things, but whatever her job is, maybe it is already fashion. Anyways, enough thinking about that. Let's move on back to the apartment. I decided to stick with mostly green and yellow walls. I thought that would keep the place cohesive, but there wasn't a lot of pink to put into that smaller bedroom slash office, because that's what Penny will use it as an office. I decided to put the pink walls in there because there was less pink furniture to choose from that matched the rest of the pink colors, if that makes sense. And then finally we have Penny's bedroom. It does look huge, it really does, but once you get the furniture in here, you see that it's not as big as it seems. And yes, the pink in here is different than the pink from the rest of the apartment. It's a lot more faded, more pastel-y. It was kind of the best I could do, staying with that sort of same rosy, corally, kind of pinky color, but using the furniture that I wanted to use. I don't know why I just had my heart set on that particular bed. I just feel like it has a very bold personality and it fits her to a T. So I really wanted to use that bed, even though I had to compromise on the colors a little bit. And I gotta say, as far as just like decorative pieces for like the walls and stuff, this one gave me the hardest time. Like, really and truly, I cut out so much because I just couldn't figure out what would go well in this space that maybe it doesn't get used much, but Penny still wants bold personality, you know, and then to also not reuse the same items over and over again. That was like the biggest thing. Don't keep reusing the same items over and over again. Make all the items different throughout. So it kind of left me in a little bit of a bind, but you can see in the end it came together. Got this one little corner, and then we can get into the walkthrough. And here we are entering into Penny's apartment, and you can see what I mean when I say I wanted it to like really hit you in the face. I wanted it to be bold. I wanted it to be fun and colorful and bright and cheery, and that graphics glitch really drives me nuts. It's really, really annoying. But I wanted this apartment to be so bold and so fun and so full of personality that I was a little nervous in the very beginning working with such bold colors in such a small space. But honestly, the space came together so well. Even the little tiny office, it came together really well. The only color I didn't use in there was the green, but we have so much green. Again, in here I didn't use the green as well. They're mainly yellow. But we have so much green in this apartment, I thought it was fine. That graphics glitch really makes it hard to see around in here. But this is the bedroom, and yes, the ceiling is glitched again. I tried to fix that, you saw at the beginning, but it just kept disappearing, especially in that spot. So anyways, if you enjoyed this speed build, if you're enjoying my channel and my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!